Welcome to This Explainer. We're diving into a mystery today that affects, well, pretty much every single one of us. We've all been told our entire lives that procrastination is just laziness, right? A lack of willpower, a personal failing. But what if that's completely wrong? What if instead procrastination is actually one of your brain's oldest, most deeply ingrained survival instincts? Think about it, an ancient biological program that literally kept our ancestors alive, but is now quietly sabotaging your modern success. Let's get right into it, because by the time we finish up here, you are never going to look at your own habits the same way again. So, have you ever promised yourself, I'll start tomorrow? I definitely have. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You sit down to finally do that important assignment, or you open up that notebook with your brilliant business idea, or maybe you're just staring at your gym bag sitting by the front door. You know exactly what you should do. The intention is absolutely there, but somehow you just don't do it. Your brain hits a brick wall, and that incredibly familiar internal monologue starts up, you know what, I'm just a little tired today. I'm definitely going to start tomorrow. And, well, we all know the reality of that promise. Tomorrow magically becomes next week. Next week turns into next month. The gym membership just gathers dust. The business idea stays completely unwritten. It's this endless, cascading reality of delayed actions. But here is the absolute crucial point I really want you to take away from this explainer today. This cascade, it's an evolutionary feature. It's not a personal flaw. Your brain is actually doing exactly what it was programmed to do. And to understand why, we've got to look backward. Which brings us to Section 1, the Stone Age brain and our survival instincts. To figure out why we struggle so much with getting things done today, we actually have to take a massive evolutionary time jump. I want you to transport yourself 30,000 years into the past. Just picture it. It's a harsh, totally unforgiving environment. There are no exams to cram for, no emails to answer, no taxes, no business plans, no social media channels to grow. For our ancestors roaming the earth 30,000 years ago, every single day revolved around just one solitary question. Will I survive today? That was literally it. Food had to be found immediately, shelter had to be secured immediately, predators had to be escaped immediately. So this creates the great mismatch of our time. On one side, we have the Stone Age reality. Our ancestors focused entirely on urgent, immediate problems. Evolution heavily rewarded brains that reacted instantly to present threats and immediate rewards. It absolutely did not reward brains that patiently worked toward a payoff that was, say, 6 months away. Now, contrast that with your modern goals. Today, your biggest challenge isn't outrunning a hungry lion. It's writing a quarterly report, saving up for a mortgage, or studying for a degree. These are long-term goals. The problem? Your ancient brain is still in there asking, hey, does this help me survive today? And if the answer is not immediately, your brain actively searches for something easier. Moving right along to Section 2, the instant dopamine trap. To truly understand why this mismatch happens, we've got to talk about dopamine. Originally, dopamine rewarded you for finding food or escaping danger. Quick actions meant quick rewards. But compare that to our modern world. Scrolling social media, it requires incredibly low effort and delivers an instant dopamine hit. One swipe, one video, one notification, just tiny bursts of pleasure for zero caloric energy. But writing a book or starting a company? Oh man, that requires massive effort for a severely delayed reward. So your brain naturally chooses the faster, easier option. Listen, it's not because you're weak. It's because modern technology has brilliantly hijacked your survival wiring by providing effortless, instant pleasure. Let's look at Section 3, evolutionary defense mechanisms and how we avoid uncertainty. See, the dopamine trap is really only half the story. Imagine you're that ancient human again, standing at a fork in the road. Path A guarantees a small, safe amount of food. Path B might contain a massive feast or a hungry lion. Which one do you choose? You choose the safer option for sure. Our brains evolved to aggressively avoid uncertain outcomes. Now bring that right into the modern day. Launching a business, applying for that dream job, putting your art out into the world. None of these guarantee success. They all involve uncertainty, failure, maybe a rejection. And here is the mind-blowing part. Your ancient brain treats the uncertainty of modern failure exactly like the literal physical danger of a hungry lion. It literally says, let's wait, maybe later. It's just trying to protect you.
This is exactly why people often say perfectionism is just fear wearing a smarter disguise. We usually think of perfectionism as having really high standards, right? Like we wear it like a badge of honor. But from an evolutionary standpoint, it's just another protective mechanism. Thousands of years ago, one mistake, eating the wrong berry, trusting the wrong stranger, was fatal. So evolution favored extreme caution. Today, telling yourself, I'm not ready or I need to do more research sounds super responsible. But really? It's just your ancient brain convincing you that waiting keeps you safe from those fatal mistakes. In the modern world, though, waiting just keeps you stuck.
And when we get stuck, we enter this vicious stress cycle. When you think about that massive, overwhelming task on your plate, your stress levels naturally shoot up. And as that stress peaks, the logical, thinking part of your brain literally becomes less active. And that emotional, ancient survival system completely takes over. And remember, that ancient system doesn't care about your quarterly presentation at all. It only wants to reduce your discomfort right this second. So avoidance behavior begins. This is why you suddenly feel the burning, urgent need to deep clean your entire kitchen instead of writing your essay. You get temporary relief, but eventually the task is still there, the guilt sets in, the stress returns even higher than before, and the cycle violently repeats itself.
So how do we break out of this? Section 4, outsmarting your ancient brain.
Okay, the amazing news here is that you don't actually need more raw motivation. You just need to learn how to work with your biology instead of fighting this exhausting losing battle against it. We can do this using 5 specific strategies to completely bypass those survival alarms. Make tasks tiny, reward your wins, reduce uncertainty, remove blocks and easy distractions, and start now before you even feel ready. Let's break down the most critical ones right now to see exactly how they trick your evolutionary hardware. Strategy 1 is all about shrinking the threat. Remember, your ancient brain fears massive energy-draining challenges. It desperately wants to conserve calories. So if you tell yourself, I need to write an entire chapter today, your brain is going to sound the alarm. It's too big, it's too exhausting. But if you shift that to, I'll just write one single paragraph, you sneak right past the brain's defense system. A tiny task doesn't trigger the survival alarm, it feels totally safe. And once you start, momentum almost always takes over. Next up, we have to directly attack that fear of the unknown. When you ask yourself, can I finish this entire project? You introduce massive uncertainty. And we already know how the ancient brain handles uncertainty. It avoids it like a predator. So instead, reframe it entirely. Ask yourself, what is the exact next tiny step? Don't worry about the finish line at all. Just focus on opening the document or drafting just one single email. Highly specific, impossibly small actions completely eliminate the fog of uncertainty that paralyzes our evolutionary wiring. Ultimately, this completely changes our definition of confidence. We so often think we need to feel confident before we start something. We wait around for the fear to just go away. But confidence is actually the result of taking action, not the prerequisite for it. Think of our ancestors again. They survived by moving, by acting, by adapting on the fly. They absolutely did not survive by sitting in a cave, waiting until their fear of the wilderness magically disappeared. Action creates the exact confidence you are waiting for. And that brings us to Section 5, the empowering conclusion. I really want to help relieve some of the guilt you might be carrying around this topic. If you've been calling yourself lazy for years, it's time to just drop that narrative. You are carrying a brain designed for a world that simply no longer exists. A brain built to avoid danger, seek immediate rewards, escape uncertainty, and conserve energy at absolutely all costs. Those exact instincts are the reason humanity survived the Stone Age. They're the literal reason you are here today. But in our modern world of delayed rewards, they require our conscious management. The goal isn't to hate your ancient brain or fight it. The goal is to understand it. Because once you know why you delay, you have the incredible power to engineer your environment to work with your biology. So I'll leave you with this thought. What is one task you've been putting off? And what is the first, incredibly small, totally non-threatening step you will take today? Don't wait for perfect timing. Don't wait for endless motivation to strike. Your ancient instincts will always whisper to wait until tomorrow. But your future is built by the choice you make right now. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Go ahead, overcome that programming, take that tiny step, and I'll catch you next time.